Jimmy, thank you for joining us today. You're so, special to the company and our relationship, and the history with Arch and everything here. So I would really appreciate you taking the time to meet with us and having a conversation. Always enjoyed the conversation with you.
Always, yeah. Thank you for having me. And of course, when you reach out to me about this opportunity to not only spend some time with two people I really value, but also have a recorded conversation with Mr. Arch Kirkwood. I think that'd be pretty fun for posterity, as they say, right?
Yeah. Well, let's start kind of like how long have you been with Suffolk now? What's your history there a little bit?
Yeah, so I've been with Suffolk for literally 18 years this month. I joined Suffolk as a project manager and have kind of done the climb over the years. Currently the executive vice president and branch manager for Suffolk in Los Angeles.
I got you beat by almost 2 years.
Yes.
20 years in October for me.
I'm chasing 20, yeah.
but Arch has us both beat, so I don't.
By a lot. By a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Obviously, in that history, so 18 years, and so from that 18 years, you started working back with Kirkwood. What?
Yeah, I think when I first crossed paths with A.J. Kirkwood, not necessarily Arch, was about 16, 17 years ago. We built a project called Jewish Home for the Aging.
You worked with quite a few of our long-term people there. Dragon was a part of that job.
Yeah, he has a nickname to me from Dragoon, as I like to call him, and Manny.
Yeah, Manny Chavarine.
Yeah, also known as The Rock.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then we kind of fast forward and. What was it, 2013?
Yeah, I think for Sunset.
2013, we got together with Sunset La Cienega, which was actually the three of us really getting to work together for the very first time.
For sure.
Our introductions. We've got a pretty funny series of stories of how that happened, and then it's funny that the relationship that was built out of that job, everlasting, right?
For sure.
I would much rather be on a construction project than be in the office.
Yeah.
That's my place to be. But I do remember one unique aspect of that job. On the hotel, there was I think a 500 or 750 kW standby emergency generator. And it's no big deal, but on this particular case, of all things, there was an earthquake fault coming right down from the north down to the east side of the building where the generator was. So the city decided that they didn't want the generator there because of the earthquake possibility. And there was no other place to put it. So we came up with the idea, I don't know if it was Henry or the structural engineer, but they decided to have a pad, a concrete pad, located next to the building. But the unique part was that the pad itself was connected to the building structure with hinges, huge hinges.
So
the pad itself could move up and down in the event of an earthquake. I remember that well. I don't remember a lot of things. I'm 88 years old, so you have to bear with me. But I remember that well, and we did it.
Yeah, Arch kind of taught me a long time ago that you do business with people you want to do business with, and you enjoy them outside of work, at work, whatever the case may be. And I think we've definitely done that over the years.
For me, it was working with people that are smart, passionate, but also good people, and trust for me has been something that I've really learned from my mentors, and I put you in that bucket of just taking good attributes from good people and applying them to your business character, and I value you a great deal for that.
Thank you, Jim.
Just as a really good man, and respected, but not a pushover, and smart, right? Problem solver. And so at the end of the day, I think our relationship with Henry and I really started at kind of going through the trenches, Like there's no better way to build a relationship than going to battle together,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word. But a lot of victories that come out of that, where you just get these wins and like navigating Edison, like that's not a lot. I mean, I've built a lot of projects since then, but that was the last one I was in the trenches. That Edison problem at Middle Parcel particularly is the one that really resonates with me, and where you and I worked hand in hand to convince, do all that engineering and problem solving on their behalf. And that was one of the first subterranean transformers done in West Hollywood for Edison ever.
I'm proud of both of you. I'm proud of both of you. Jim, my dad taught me, this is 65 years ago or 70 years ago, that there's two kinds of, there's brokers and builders. And he told me, he said, don't do work with brokers. If you don't even own a wheelbarrow, that makes you a broker. And you sub everything out, and a broker doesn't have a feel for the job, where a builder does. And I admire builders. They're my kind of people, and thank you for being a builder.
Yeah, here.
I gotta talk a little bit about one of my favorite people here. He's been with the company for a long time. Came up through the field before he was married. We sent him all over San Antonio. He was there. Mammoth Lakes. He was there for quite a while. Where else did you work?
San Jose for a little bit. Vegas. I was in Vegas for a couple of years.
Okay. So,
Hot and cold. It's a couple
I
extremes.
prefer Mammoth.
anyway, Henry was very much valued. He was willing to travel. We had total trust in him, being geographically apart from us. And he's one of our top leaders right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Arch.
I got to tell you a story about, now this didn't have anything to do with Suffolk, but years ago, we did work with a company called Altman's, and they were more of a concrete industrial tilt-up outfit. And they had a friend, a large company out of Vancouver, British Columbia, and they build ski resorts. So they decided to move into Mammoth. We did the first job up there. It was called Juniper Springs Lodge. And they had a house home builder as their joint venture partner, and then Altman's. But neither one of them really knew what they were doing, and we didn't know what we were doing. It snows up there. And so in the spring, they got the deck poured, and they got a lot of the framing done. But they didn't, and they had the roof on. They had the plywood on the. It was a 4-story building. It was a big building, and so they didn't put the tar paper down. They should have. Everybody knows when you work up there, when it snows, you get closed in. They call it getting closed in. Well, they didn't. So got our first snow, big one. Warms up, snow melts, runs through the plywood on the roof, runs all the way down to the first floor. So every morning thereafter, you could ice skate on the first floor till about 10 o'clock, till it melted. And it was a black ice, and it was one of my fond moments of Mammoth.
That's actually the first job I came over to AJ Kirkwood was Mammoth Hospital, like going up there to build that. So building in the snow is difficult, definitely difficult. Heaters everywhere, trying to keep everybody warm. Production's tough because everybody wants to be by the heaters.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to work. It's very challenging, but it's a special place. You've done quite a bit up there in Mammoth, Arch.
We were there for 6 years, and we built a lot of jobs. The UPA was the name of the builder from UPA, or from Canada. And we had a good relationship with them, and we did everything, except for one little job. And did the Village, that big hotel, and then everything else. But it was fun.
As my mentor used to tell me, you can't train, you give a shit, right? You either do or you do not. And I do, like, kind of circles back to, you know, the culture of your company and the work ethic, but the caring, right? You got people that go to work that actually value their job and what they do, and that resonates. And that's honestly one of, if not the biggest reason that, you know, we like doing business, or I personally like doing business with Kirkwood, is you feel that on a lot of levels. A bunch of people that give a shit.
Thank you. Thank
Well,
you.
taking ownership,
Makes
right?
me feel good.
Yeah.
If we mess up, it feels bad when we mess up. We don't just go, sorry, later, you know. We try and own up to it. And I think that's the same. I mean, it goes likewise with you. I mean, I know that at the end of the day, if you're asking me to do something, it's not because you're saying, you know, I want you to do it and I want you to, you know, fill the damage or the, you know, whatever it takes. Is you understand it's a two-way relationship,
Yeah.
and I think that we do well with that.
Well, we are in the business of making money, right, at the end of the day. And
Sometimes.
Yeah. We talk about, like, I feel like this kind of dialogue makes me think about, you know, mentors and, like, kind of those catchphrases that you have. But one I had very early in my career is, you know, if your subcontractors make money, you generally will be performing well on the project as a contractor. And I've always taken that to heart of, you know, best value and making sure that there's, you know, enough profitability in a project to, like, actually, you know, make it a favorable project as the outcome for you, and also inherently for us.
I'd just like to say one thing. There was, going back to builders, and there's a lot of moving parts in a large project. Millions. Even in electrical, there's hundreds of thousands of fittings and switchgear and lighting. It's very complicated. And there's other subcontractors, plumbers, heating, ventilating, structural. And this all comes together in a fairly tight environment in a building. And the general contractor, if he's a good one, coordinates it all. So he doesn't put the electrical contractor in a room where there's going to be a large air conditioning unit. And likewise, he schedules all of that so we go in when we can do our work, start it and complete it, and do it efficiently. And if we have that environment to work in and that kind of organization, we can usually make money. Suffolk, we make money because they know what they're doing. And there's other people out there that, you know, we just say, when they ask us to bid a job, we just say, we're busy right now. But it's so important, so important to us that the job is run in a professional way.
Yeah, here.
Thank you.
And I mean, thank you. That's you kind of chase certain compliments in your career. That's one of them for sure. That's you know, when you mentioned earlier just a builder or a broker. It's funny. I categorize in this very similar. You know, I think the term builder is, there's so few now, like master builders. I think even, you know, in the trades, and you talk about, you know, with the enhancement of manufacturing and pre-cutting, and, you know, where the industry has come, there's a lot less critical thinking, like you know, in the field, and it's a lot of just putting things together. And it's important for us as, you know, generations to come, that we're really pushing that message down, right? And I feel like, you know, mentorship and training and knowing that, like, yes, you can do it in pixels, but you still got to understand how the bricks go together. And that gets lost a lot.
I think it gets lost with the click of a button. A lot of people are just looking how to get the task done and move forward, as opposed to really understanding everything about that task and what it's going to take and all of the people that are involved with
Right.
that task. And yeah, we are trying to prefab more and trying to take more out of the job site just so we can be more productive on the job site. But you do need the leaders and you need the individuals who understand it completely to be able to make it work wholeheartedly. It's
Good.
That's the hard part.
yeah.
You want to do it better and faster, and cheaper, right? But you don't want to lose the knowledge base.
Well, and it's weird because we're trying to simplify it, but at the same time, things are getting more complicated. Like more technologies are going into construction, but yet we're trying to simplify how we do it. So you still need people to think about how all these parts and pieces are going to go together, and even more so, how to put all these layers on top of each other and make it fit.
From a standpoint of the computerization, BIM and the drawings and all of that, that has changed drastically. The construction industry is made up of a certain type of person, and they get great pleasure and satisfaction out of creating something that they can see and touch and feel and drive their family by and say, I built that. I like construction people. And all my friends, almost all of my friends, are construction people. That was a long answer.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think we all love construction people, which is why we're sitting here. I mean, I married a construction person, so it definitely is something that I relate to. It's something special about somebody who wants to see it on paper, wants to help coordinate it, but then also wants to be part of erecting a building and watching that thing happen, and the trials and tribulation that go with building a job site. I mean, it's pretty phenomenal to see to know what goes on during that time frame, right? And come out the other end, and then we all say, I built it, even there was a whole bunch of people who built it.
Yeah, there's a lot of eyes.
That was my job. I did it. I built it.
Yep.
So, well, yeah, again, this is fantastic. Jim, thank you so much for spending the time. I know taking the time out of your busy schedule to meet with us. And Arch, you got any last things for Jim that you want to throw out there?
Well, we need you. We need your company. I don't, but
I need you.
Yeah.
I need you
No,
for sure.
no,
Like,
no.
what are you doing later
And,
today?
and we need
you are
this.
a builder. Okay, I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, thank you. When you reached out about doing this, for all the reasons I think I've said, is I value our relationship and our relationship, and I
Thank you.
have a lot of fond memories, and wish both AJ Kirkwood and you the absolute best. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you.
Thank you.